Welcome back. We've got a game 3 here in this relegation scrap fight. Astini, is there anything you'd like to see either of these teams pull out in this crowning game 3?
Initiation hero King RD. I'll be happy to see that.
Anything for you, Richie?
I would like to see Yuma play Morphling. I don't know if we're going to get it because Wolf Team have been keen to ban it. But it is his favorite hero, even though he likes to play everything. Maybe pick him Magnus as well. That'd be pretty cool too. But down to game 3, maybe Wolf Team, they focus on banning something else that's been an issue for them here. And then you let in one of those sneaky little comfort picks for Hokori.
They're certainly not going to be letting them get that Luna Visage combo because they're banning out the Visage. I didn't even know they were going to ban out the Visage when I started that sentence, so that's pretty serendipitous. And Hokori taking a little bit of time. I don't think Wolf Team have a draft penalty this time, so we've got a slightly more considered draft coming up here. Do you think this is kind of a reset of a game 3? Are both these teams now in probably their best mentality?
I don't know. I think Astini's in a unique position to probably answer this, at least for Hokori, a bit better.
I think it's like mentality here is pretty fine for both teams. The series matters, so they're doing the best. I don't think either team's like tilted. They just understood like the mistakes they made, and let's say they're ready to correct it. It's just weird that you have Wolf Team banning the Visage, because seems like it was a turning point for them, and they had the first pick. So quite weird on that sense.
Astini, I wanted to ask you a question here. I've got a theory brewing, and I want to see if it'll pass at least to the first stage of peer review. What do you think about this theory that offlaners either need to have like super strong skills, like a Timbersaw at 6, he's just good to go, or they need to be like a 1-item timing hero, like a Blink Dagger timing, or I don't know, like a Yules, for example. Do you think that has any credence, or do you think I'm just making that up?
It does make some sense, but I think like it's an overall composition of your team, and then you see like what you're missing. Because like this blink stun, it's been like the rule for offlaners for so long, but I feel it changed a bit. I have a way more crazy theory, but it depends on 5 heroes.
Oh,
so
please!
I don't know if I have enough time for it.
So close. I really wanted to hear it.
How crazy
I can say. I think you need like it's a matter of stun lock and burst the first target.
Okay.
So basically, you need vision, you need blink stun, and you need burst damage. Also, what's happening in this meta is the early BKBs and like working on those BKBs cooldowns. So what you also want to have is a team fight reset. It's a hero like this Enigma. It's a hero that pierces BKB and AoE. It's a hero like Wyvern, a hero like Trinket, like Warlock, and you try to compose your lineup around that. So both teams, on that sense, they look fine now because you have like Tiny's Initiator with burst. Puck's also Initiator, does have some burst, does give vision. Those heroes are very complete on what you need to accomplish from that meta. That's like a big reason why Puck is the most like pick and ban hero in the meta overall.
Let's talk about this Enigma. Are they just picking it for that BKB disable, or is there anything else here that this hero is helpful for at the moment?
He's a really strong offlaner still these days. Usually, although I've been seeing a bit of a change on what Enigmas have been building first item to varying success, but I have a feeling here it'll just be the fairly standard rush to the Wraith Pact, of course. It builds really nicely with your Eidolons. Your Eidolons, of course, is what makes you such a strong laner. You just need to protect it here with a couple of bans, and then you can leave them as a position 3. Eventually, you still go, Blink, Black Hole, and you get the casters all excited and screaming, to the top of their lungs. But in the lane, it's a little bit more low-key. Just farm with Eidolons, deny every single range creep, and that's how you start to take over the game.
What are you picking with it? What does the Enigma lack or need to combo with at the moment for Hokori? Can you pick it isolated, or is it a hero that you pick within a particular draft?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is this sort of team fight reset, so you need some hero to tank the first initiation. Like, you don't want to be the initiator as Enigma. So either you need a lot of vision, but you also do need a frontliner that's gonna tank for you. And this hero is not Marcy. Like, Marcy is a great lane partner, but they still lack some frontline. That could be like a case for the Magnus that Richie mentioned, because
Yeah.
Morphline's gone, Richie.
Give me Magnus. I want to see it. Yeah, they've banned the Morphling and the Ember. I'm not so sure about the Kunkka all 3 games, but certainly this Ember and Morphling in this banning phase has been consistent for Wolf Team. And of course, just in case people aren't aware, that's going to be the Ember of Analog, who he's been playing a lot of this season, and of course Yuma playing the Morphling. Which is going to be very akin to Pakaza's Morphling, El Prohibido. You know, you don't want him to play the Morphling, so just ban it out. Even if no one else is playing Morphling, don't let him play Morphling.
Hokori banning out that Alchemist, so we're not going to be able to see HFN on one of the heroes that he's not played, unfortunately, in this game.
Yeah,
What
he's
was
still
the other
got
one,
he's
Rich?
still
I
got a
can't remember
couple.
which.
TA's in there. I don't really know if he's a TA kind of guy though, given that it's
He's played
He's-
TA. I've seen HFN on TA.
He's the guy that started with TA carry. No
Yeah.
kidding.
Okay, never mind. Never mind then. Well, he hasn't played it this season. Is what I noticed, and I think there was one other one that was a little bit popular, Faceless Void, which it seemed like 3 games, but like you're really starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel in terms of carries that are commonly picked that he has not played. Again, he did just double up on the Luna in his 11th game, so we'll see what he goes for now in his 12th game of the DPC overall.
All right, picking up that voice.
I think this Void Spirit hero is kind of the perfect kind of first initiation, tank the first salvo of spells that you were talking about, Estini. Especially with like the Kaya and Sanj build you can go for. A Yule Scepter is a viable build, honestly, versus a Puck, just so you can kind of survive and set up your Enigma. I really quite like this pick, even if it's early in this phase for Hokori.
Yeah, and it's a hero that you're basically like entering the team fight and forcing the BKBs, and then your Enigma loves to join the team fight. Also, I like it being picked here, even it looks like early, because you already know the matchup. It's the same thing with the Timber that I mentioned. Like on the first draft, they picked into counter, so they would pick anyway. So then on the second match, they picked the Timber early, and they could pick an AA on the 18, and it had a lot of impact. So it does make sense sometimes to leave your position 5 or 4 to be picked later. Wyvern, the Survivor, man!
Duster Wyvern.
I've been asking for that like since the first game of the season.
Why?
Teamfight reset, Pierce's BKB. Oh.
All right,
I'm
well,
happy.
you beat it to me. I was like, why are you so excited to see the Wyvern for Duster? But it's super good, and it's really good in the lane too, right? Versus this Enigma, Splinter Blast, obviously, but even the Arctic Burn allows you. It's supremely easy to out harass the Eidolons. It's not every day you consider that, but if you just outrange Eidolons, they're garbage. They're complete garbage. They just die. So this is basically almost enough, maybe a little bit of AoE damage on your core, and you can just completely nuke the Eidolons, and then that completely resets the advantage that Enigma gets by denying the range creep. So it's a very strong pick here.
Yeah, and it goes with a Night Stalker. That's the hero that's providing vision for the Winter Wyvern to hit good cursors. Also the Puck to initiate, the Tiny to initiate. It's a draft that check all boxes that I was telling you. So I love it. I love it. You just need to take care with the laning stage when you show the Night Stalker like this. Also, I see Bloodseeker still open, which is a great counter to it.
Yep, and we know how much pros love building circles on circles in the team fights, right? Enigma circles, Dissemblate circles are looking really good. Wukong's Command's another circle, a fairly strong lane.
Circles.
So many circles. Just one last point on this Wyvern pick. It's sometimes a bit difficult to play Wyvern into a Void Spirit because Void loves hunting down these squishy Int heroes with his Ag Scepter silencing you and just killing you throughout the entire game. That's why I think it's pretty nice that you have, yes, a Puck, but also this Night Stalker I think is a bit more relevant for the vision, but he's also somewhat of a more impending doom to your team. Like if he ults and he's flying over trees, Void Spirit might try and like stop him, Monkey might throw a stun at him. That like frees up the Wyvern to kind of get off her whole kind of team fight turning ulti off. So I do really quite like that combo as well. Monkey King.
Yeah, I was going to ask about this Monkey King. Where's this fitting in? What's it a response to, or what does it build on?
It's like a free first 5 minutes, right? versus Night
Yeah.
Stalker.
And I think it's a hero that can still flex, because they can play Marcy 5, Monkey 4. That would be a hero that, like... Because Monkey is really good against Night Stalker in the lane, but in the game, like in this Vision game, you don't want to be the hard carry. Because if you're initiated, you kind of lost the game. But if you're a position 4, you love to play that Vision game against Night Stalker. Because if it's daytime, of course, you're winning. If it's nighttime, you're the one breaking his moves and protecting your team. So I think Wolf Team's ban are not on point. I really think Hokori, they should go for a less big hard carry. But they still have one more info to choose that hero, right? They can see the carry that Wolf Team picks first.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult because Monkey support will give a little bit vision. That's really what they're lacking in this draft. They haven't really no one to give vision in the fights, which is concerning against the Night Stalker, Puck, Wyvern. I was like, maybe you consider running this Monkey King safe lane, and then you pick something like a Lion for a Hex and a Stun into this Night Stalker Puck lineup. But then again, like, I think Lion and your entire team really just gets jumped by Night Stalker as soon as he has Blink with a Puck, Wyvern, Tiny to follow up. I think that's just like GG basically. So yeah, I think they've got to solve a couple problems with this last pick, but over to Wolf Team here, who have a last pick and are looking for a carry, certainly. That Troll ban, again, is because HFN has played Troll this season. He's lost with it, but they literally will play anything, it seems like, on this guy.
What would you like to see him play here? What works well for you?
They just need a hard carry, don't they? They've got, like, good team fight. Maybe, like, a little bit of tower push, but every single carry gives you tower push when they're online.
No, it depends. Not a Spectre, Ursa.
Yeah,
Those heroes,
that's
they
true.
don't, but-
That's true, I guess. That would be my only thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Luna
was
gives
gonna
you
say
tower
Luna.
push, some team fight, a strong lane as well into this Enigma. You can nuke Eidolons fairly easily with Lucent Beam. Kind of sounds like a waste, but again, as long as you kill 2 of those Eidolons of the 3, you're getting back your experience from the range creep. So
It's
that
a
is
long
worth
range
it.
black hole cancel as well before BKB, which is really effective.
No, I'm sad that they have Wyvern. Otherwise, I could be cheering for Yuma Meepo. Because we mentioned the
Oh.
Magnus, we mentioned the Morphling. If it wasn't for this Wyvern, man. Because I really think they should go carry here.
Well, let's see. Will they heed your advice? They've got 10 seconds to do it. Any snap pick decisions? Quickly say a hero name.
Lion.
Naga.
It's never Naga.
Ooh.
Come on, dude.
They pick with 1 second, and they're picking the Shadow Demon.
That's
You're
the-
both wrong. Shadow Demon against Luna, a classic one. Talk me through this Hokori draft, Astini. What do you think of it? What do you think it's trying to achieve?
Now they have a save against a lot of burst. And they have the copies of HFN. Like, if HFN is gonna carry, you just are like, okay, I'm gonna make 2 HFNs. So that's the idea of Hokori with the Shadow Demon, which does make some sense. But overall, I think the Wolf draft is very complete. I think like being able to save 1 target is not enough when they have so much burst potential on Wolf team. And Richie, I told something twice today, and you're like, "Oh, I'm hearing these again and again." What was that?
I'm hearing this again and again. I don't remember. Hold on. I'm trying to think.
When we were guessing how much it would end the series.
I don't know. You're going to tell me out.
2-1.
Come
quite a
on,
lot.
I told if Duster is drafting, then I would bet 2-1 to Wolf.
That's right.
Can't
You
think
did.
for the 3rd time.
Well, there we go. Is he going to be the Oracle? Richie, do you think so? Or are you going to pitch out against Astani here?
No, I actually quite like Wolf Team's lineup a lot, actually, for the first time this series. I think they've got a Wyvern as a solution to the Enigma all game. The Puck is going to have not really too free of a game, but also not really all that difficult of a game either. And the bot lane of Wyvern and Luna is really, really strong as well. The only issue I might have is this Night Stalker's early game, but, you know, that's where Hokori are going to have to outplay them. But I think, you know, Wolf Team have the edge here. I'd go 2-1.
Okay, well, it's a game with a huge amount of stakes. We've got one of the teams here probably facing relegation and the other into that scrap of mid-tableness. And who better to take us through this monumental game but Snare and Bowie?
Thank you, Sarah. Big jams. And yes, indeed, Bowie, we are here for a relegation game. One of these teams is most likely going to get relegated. The other stays in it. Tell me about these drafts. Everybody's super hype on this Wolf Team draft. I'll be honest, I love it as well. But your job, good sir, you're the smart one. Make this Hokori draft make more sense to me. How do they win this game?
Oh, I mean, I kind of have to agree with the panel a little bit. I feel like the Wolf Team draft is kind of inherently superior. The one thing that really surprised me is that Night Stalker was picked, and then they were able to get Luna on top of it. Usually, Luna is a good response to Night Stalker just because you match the night vision, and that allows you to. Oh, okay. So it looks like we have some ping issues here. Okay. Looks like they have the right ping, so maybe it's just Hokori with some internet issues. But yeah, as I was saying, the Night Stalker is a good response because the Luna is a good response to Night Stalker just because it allows you to fight on equal terms at nighttime against that guy. I also agree with Astini in the sense that the Monkey King to me didn't felt like the best response. Sure, he kind of lanes well versus the Night Stalker, but that hero still comes back really strong. He crushes the Void Spirit. This could even be a game where Analog is forced into a U-Scepter, so we might not see, the eggs that is really good versus the Wyvern, as Seek and Strike talked about. So there's lots of challenges that the Wolf Team draft brings them that I'm not sure Hokori has the right ways to really deal with. Even this Enigma, my favorite hero of the whole game. It's not a good game for this bad boy. You're against the Wyvern. Like, the Luna is pretty decent against the Eidolons. So it's going to be an uphill climb for Hokori, I think.
Yeah, it does feel like a very difficult time for them. But also, one thing that surprises me greatly is this is a first 2-puck for 4DR that, by and large, hasn't really been counted out by the side of Hokori. Feels like he's going to have a pretty free game. Several ways to be able to counter them out as well. But a cancel for the Black Hole, a leash for the Void Spirit, another way to just prevent Monkey King from moving around in the midst of these fights. And it just really does feel like a quite difficult game for Hokori. But at the same time, Bowie, they have game-changing spells, right? We have seen in the past spells like the Black Hole, spells like big Wukong's commands can just turn everything in one engagement. So let us hope that they can make something like that happen for themselves. Otherwise, it just looks very, very difficult. We have to remember again, this is an elimination game. Well, not guaranteed, but pretty much that is going to be the case. Wolf Team, of course, have just come back into Division 1. Hokori came up the first season and haven't gone down since, even though they've come very, very close to doing so. So they've been here before, Bowie. They need to try and dig deep and get out of this situation again.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about the puck, so I just want to get back to that a little bit. That's why I really like Destini's idea of having this Monkey King as a 4, because usually you don't have catch against the puck, but the Monkey King as a 4 can just be in the trees, and as long as he hits the Boundless Strike, then the other spells can connect. The Marcy can jump in, the Aether Remnant can... so it's really hard for the puck to actually deal with the monkey in the trees, but as a carry, he's not really going to be hunting that puck. He's going to be farming. God knows, if he's going for a Battle Fury build, which could mean this game is going to be a farm fiesta, as most South American games are, to our delight, but sometimes despair.
In this game, if you are a Hokori fan, I'm pretty sure you do not want to see HFN getting mass amounts of net worth again, so you're hoping that they can play this pace a little bit faster. A bit difficult with their heroes, but you need to try and find a way forward. Talk to me about this Enigma as well. What are we building this game? We've seen a lot of Enigmas just go for this Wraith Pack. Seek and Strike was mentioning it on the panel itself. But otherwise, if they do that, it does slow down the game in the sense that only Analog can get forward. Is that still a requirement that he has to go for that build, or is the situation such that he's going to have to mix it up?
But I'm sure of is he'll get Vessel. I think that for offlane Enigma, that is literally the golden standard nowadays. It gives you a little bit of armor, a little bit of mana regen, pretty much what this hero needs. And the Vessel just allows you to have things to do once Black Hole's on cooldown. Because this hero, the cooldown is way too long. And if you just play for Black Hole early on, this hero is just bad. Like, you miss a Black Hole, then your hero doesn't exist. That's why people go Vessel. After that, he might go for the Wraith Pact, but he could also just go for Blink, BKB. Sure, you're against the Wyvern, but you can just Black Hole the Wyvern. You can rush BKB, and wait for the curse to be used. It really depends on how the game goes. Like if you're playing from ahead, you don't really care about the Wyvern because you're not forced to use Black Hole. If you're playing from behind, then maybe the Rift Pact is the way, just because you have impact despite your Black Hole not being a spell as long as Winter's Curse is up.
Honestly, the presence of heroes like Winter Wyvern, Warlock, Tree and Protector, so many of these heroes that can cancel Black Hole from afar with very little commitment, it makes me always a bit sus. I feel a bit sus when I see these early Enigmas getting picked. I'm like, are you sure about this? Get it deeper in the draft when you have a bit more information, so Vitaly will certainly have to play well. Yuma also going to have to play well down bottom. But so far, one who's doing very, very well is King RD. I'm assuming that they're going to be giving him yet again some priority to get the early blink. But right now, he's just making space for Tavo, who's got a very juicy wave with him. This Night Stalker, it feels like is very much poised to have a good game here. And you were talking earlier about this Yule Scepter potentially being picked up by the Void Spirit to protect him against the Puck. What protection is available if Tavo gets like a good start and then gets early Blink Dagger? Doesn't it just feel like he just runs over the game at that point?
I mean, Scepter is the protection, but if he gets a BKB, then it definitely gets a little bit harder. You do have the save of the Shadow Demon, so it also depends. Will Gardic have a free game? Will he maybe rush a fast Aetherlands? Then maybe it's actually much harder for the Silence of the Night Stalker to connect on both SD and the other heroes on Hokori. But, I like the shenanigans here. This is a really hard matchup for the Night Stalker, so they're dragging waves. And so far, Tavo has some CS, really didn't get hurt at all by the Monkey King. So kudos to Wolf Team. I think they definitely researched their lanes. That's something that I kind of felt they struggled with once Wolf Team started. But they really improved, from Division 2. Kind of tough that their results didn't really reflect maybe all of the improvements. But this could be the beginning of something.
So far, so good for them. We'll have to see how it pans out. It's going to be Tavo, of course, playing a different hero than its Timbersaw, so not a guarantee of being able to hit a specific level timing. And then you just go free farm the map. Gotta farm heroes. Gotta be able to get involved in fights. And we'll have to see how they get that going for themselves. We haven't looked at mid lane just yet, have we? But there's a good reason for that because this lane is boring as hell. Void Spirit versus Puck, meh. Pre 6 minutes, pre level 6, level 7, literally nothing happens in this lane, man.
I mean, that's most mid matchups for you. It's been a while since we've been entertained with the mid lane, which is unfortunate. It used to be really hype, First Bloods and all that, but not this patch, probably not this TI. Speaking of First Bloods, they actually find Luna.
Very important First Blood. HFN getting dragged out into an awkward position. Duster doesn't have any point into the Cold Embrace, so could not provide protection. That is very, very important. Getting that early kill onto HFN in a situation where, yeah, sure, the lane isn't going perfectly for him, but the lane was okay. Now you've gotten that kill out. Vitaly's going to have some uninterrupted time to farm on this wave. Misho's already dragged their creeps away. This is looking nice. That's a very good kill to get early on.
Yeah, I mean, this is the price that you pay picking a ranged hero against Enigma. Sure, it's an HFN hero. It actually links really well with the Wyvern because of the aura. But those Eidolons hurt like hell because ranged heroes don't have that innate damage block. So that's definitely, if that's any melee hero, I'm sure they don't get that kill.
Helped a lot that Misho did go for this early point into the dispos. Knows exactly what's up, what he's doing. Good kill to be able to attain here. Mid lane though, King RD is looking like he wants to set up for a kill onto Analog. You want to do this pre-level 6 being available on this Void Spirit, but he is playing very, very carefully. He's gotten information from his squad that, hey, there's a missing Tiny, and yep, does get scouted out right now by Gardic. As he shows up here, keep the Void Spirit alive, make sure that King RD can't make much happen. I wonder if he'll stick around for the 6-minute rune to maybe try and force a situation, because he's not leaving here, Bowie. He's chilling. Wants to hang out for as long as possible.
I mean, he is playing from ahead, right? So I think he's doing okay. But one thing that is really going to dictate the pace of this game is going to be the runes. I think the first game we saw Analog really shining because he got lucky with some, and Hokori's supports rotated a bit. Bottom though.
Nice toss back with the Dream Coil coming in as 40R comes for the first rotation of the game. They thought on the Yuma Monkey King that they might find an escape using this tree dance, and that might still be the case. The salvation provided by the Shadow Demon, enabling Yuma to jump away this tree dance. What a time to be alive. And he gets the TP to safety. What? How did that happen? And at the same time, they're killing top. Bowie, what just happened?
I have no words. Like, that was so clutch by Yuma. He actually dodges the coil. They get the tree, but even still, because of the disruption, he actually buys enough time for the tree dance to be ready again. Like, insane play. Like, that's the best play of the whole series. I don't think we're going to get anything better than that. That was crazy, like, well played by the Monkey King. That's a lot of effort and resources coming from Wolf Team, and the fact that the carry survives, this is going to have repercussions for sure in this game.
When your carry survives and they manage to kill the opposing carries without having to commit Black Hole, nor without having to commit a rotation from Analog, that enables Analog to make this rotation much more easily. Unfortunately for him, though, there is some vision scouting him out next to this outpost. But HFN, muscled out of this top lane already, does have access to the treads, so can at least start farming this jungle out. But Hokori doing a great job in this early game here. Not only have they been making successful moves like what we just saw, but they're winning the farm trades in pretty much every situation. HFN having died and now being muscled out means he's going to start falling behind this Monkey King. They've got a decent army and a Siege Dragon, so suddenly this tier 1 tower not looking safe at all in this top lane.
Yeah, that's another thing Enigma does really well. He those Eidolons, after the damage changes to the type that they do, they actually do a lot of damage to these towers. And Omisho, he's finds Duster.
It's a dispose back. The Void Spirit, though, not going to try and dive too deep for this one. Elmisha will actually die behind the tier 1 tower thanks to this rotation from the puck. So that is right now 8 heroes being in the top side of the map. Only one of them will die, though. However, with this puck coming back, it gives HFN a little bit of a feeling of protection so he can calm farm the lane proper, destroy the creep wave, and make sure there's no more Siege Dragon. At the same time, though, Analog will try find King RD in the river. Golden Brace keeps him alive a little bit longer. But this is certainly going to be a kill, right? Right? I say so, but 40R comes in. Dreamcoil back onto Analog. Do they have the damage for this? The silence will keep him in position a little bit longer. One more right click is what will be required, but he does get off the magic stick. The one, in fact, and he's going to be able to stay alive. Unfortunately, yet again, as all these heroes are being dragged in towards the tier 1 tower in this mid lane, Enigma cracks level 6, uses Black Hole, and just heads up, kills the Luna.
Yeah, I mean, this is the dream for Enigma. Like, it's not only about the tower taking, but the experience deny. HFN is level 5 right now against the level 7 of Yuma. And Luna is just so reliant on levels. Usually, you know, Luna would be level 7 right now, 3-pointing Moonglaves, just the world would be her oyster. The farming speed is super low right now, and I mean, we'll see if they can maybe punish Vitali here. I don't think they can.
Nope. They realize the same thing, that they actually can't do anything. So that's the only spell at the time that he had available was going to be Splinter Blast. No way to actually hurt the Enigma. This game looking hella good. Enigma, like you say, has denied a lot of experience towards this Luna, having killed her twice as well and taken the tower. Opened up space on the map. So yes, she can dip into the jungle, but she's going to have to do so without the massive experience jump that she normally enjoys at this stage of the game. Her counterpart on the other side, though, Yuma is indeed going for that Battle Fury, so you were correct to read the farm war. Do you like the Battle Fury into BKB here for this game? Or do you think you should be itemizing for a more fights-oriented lineup?
I mean, I like it. It feels much better to play Monkey King with the Battle Fury. Like, you get that mana regen, you scale much better. You know you're going to be playing against this, HFN player that will farm like crazy. So I think that's okay. You know, especially even though they won the lane, you can't really play aggressive a lot of times against the Night Stalker. So just kind of slowing down the pace of the game is fine, in my opinion. Now mid lane, they try to fight for the rune, but it actually spawns top.
No.
And
Toss after the Dream Coil. They'll be able to break the coil and kill Analog. Heads up from this situation. Oh boy, that was not supposed to happen. Got it. Can he TP out to safety? Yes, he can. Not enough points into the toss for it to come off cooldown. So he does manage to escape that situation. But still, you just lost Analog for pretty much nothing. They're scouting for more as well. I think they might have seen the courier chasing Yuma, but they're not going to try and go all the way in on that one.
Yeah, and by the way, I lied. At the end of the day, Vitali did go for the Rush of the Death, the the Wraith Pact instead of the Urn. Not really sure why. He actually had the Urn queued up.
That's cute.
What really changed? But it's a good item. It really just allows you to group up and to be useful besides the Black Hole. I mean, we did talk about the Wyvern. Duster is still level 5, but eventually he'll have it. And it's just the bane of Vitaly's existence for now.
I mean, I suppose in the situation where he is now, after having made a real difficult time for HFN in the top lane, he knows this Luna's going to be a bit delayed on her damage spikes. So it makes even more sense to get the super early Wraith Pact. Then Luna is like literally does nothing in these fights early on. So HFN not going to be allowed to play Dota for quite some time, thanks to Vitaly's efforts from the top lane. They do not have the full Wraith Pact, so we'll see if they decide to try and make something happen with this. 4 heroes grouped up, and they're going to smoke. Wanting to utilize the Black Hole that's back off cooldown now. Gardic is leading the charge, so hopefully catch somebody out with this disruption. Nobody's nearby enough, though, and they don't have any decent vision. This is taking so much time that HFN has to know they're coming for him, and he's retreating summarily right now.
Yeah, I like this move because usually smokes, when the camps are about to spawn, are the highest chance of you hitting the carry. A lot of times you see these inexperienced teams going for smokes at like 0.20, 0.30, but they actually don't stay in the triangle. They get Tavo. That's a pretty good kill.
It doesn't cost them any ultimates to have to come. I mean, I don't really count Unleash from Misho, so whatever. Great kill to pick up on Tavo. They can start pushing in back onto the tier 1 tower. And that also prevents the timing of Night Stalker, right? Night Stalker is one of these heroes that is somewhat finicky when it comes to farm. Doesn't necessarily thrive when not given any resources at all. So each kill can have major impact. Another kill might happen in the top lane though, because Yuma, he's been scouted. They know where he's at. Arctic Burn used by Duster. The double trees, does he know which one? He's trying to scout it now. He flies right above him. Oh my god. Game is super hard, man. Yuma with the game sense yet again, outplaying the side of Wolf Team. Gardic will come in and die immediately. Yuma, no, he jumped down too soon. That's going to get him caught with this Winter's Curse. Do they have the follow-up damage for this? They're preventing the Wukong's command. The bonus armor will come in, but it comes in too late. He ends up dying as well. Oh no, Bowie was looking so good, but then he jumped down and gets caught out.
He got cocky. Like, there's no other way about it. Like, his team was connecting, but they were not that close. So the fact that he went for that just... I mean, he was having a really good game. The fact that he survived that gank just enabled this Battle Fury build he's going for. But now, this is rough. Maybe they'll get a couple of extra kills here. No curse. So Black Hole is available.
No curse for Duster. Will he not end up dying, though? But instead, it's actually going to be a turnaround directly onto Analog. 4DR and the boys... They've already got this Witchblade for the puck, so more than enough damage early on. They get the quick kill. That was Analog making the jump, and now they're not done just yet. El Misho gets tossed on by Gardic. Oh, feels bad. Your own ally preventing the damage that brings you down. 40 is not done just yet. Still jumping forward. Really wants to try and find Gardic. There will be the Waning Rift. Not enough damage just yet. Tavo activates the Dark Ascension. And okay, Gardic will just buy time. Disrupting himself. King RD does die underneath the tier 2 with the Midnight Pulse on top of him. So that's something, but it's not going to save the tier 1 tower, I don't think. Oh no, well, they're all leaving it alone. What's happening in this top lane here, Bowie? What's going on in this game?
And they were going for the gank on the Monkey King. He predicts a gank, survives the gank, and then dies. And that just prompted this dive from Wolf King because it was nighttime. But now, looks like Tavo will pay the price here. I mean, not nighttime. He used the Dark Ascension. It was a good move from Wolf Team. I think they got a lot out of it, and they didn't really... I mean, sure, they lose Tavo, but overall, HFN is farming, and the Monkey King gets denied a lot of his timings here, because he still doesn't have that Battle Fury.
Still looking to finish the Battle Fury. Slowed down massively. Normally, this is the point where I expect the Battle Fury to be finished on this hero. Now he is still in a farm race. Try and get something back, and still will need BKB to participate in these fights. We saw what happened in that last engagement. Exactly how much magic damage Wolf Team actually have, just between the two heroes of the Puck as well as this Tiny. Speaking of the Puck, not very far away from having the Blink Dagger. King RD also about to have Blink. Dude, this double timing feels so strong that they're about to hit here.
Oh yeah. Again, just Wolf Team capitalizing very well on mistakes from Hokori and just making sure HFN gets what he needs. Like, he struggled against the Enigma, which is expected. but they made sure to carve out a place for him to farm. Look how many wards and vision you have around where he is. And so in this nighttime, I mean, for the next 4 minutes, I don't think we're going to see Hokori going for a lot of aggressive moves. Well, as I say that, they just dive Tavo.
Aggression will actually come from Wolf Team. They commit the Winter's Curse directly onto this Vitali Enigma. Enigma is gone. 40R, beautiful 2-hero Dream Coil. Will they be able to follow up onto this one? Elmisha will snap it, but hiding in the tree. He's not going to die just yet. Goddick will end up getting brought down. King RD trying to chase down Elmisha. Not going to be able to catch him. But it doesn't matter that much whether he can catch the Marcy. Matters that they can force him away from this area, because now Tier 1 tower middle completely open for HFN to throw in these right clicks atop. They're still chasing Yuma in the top lane, but certainly going to be able to escape that one. Tier 1 tower, though, doesn't have any way to tree dance, so it just gets killed in this mid lane.
Yeah, just weird from Hokori. Like, they understand it's nighttime. They just try to initiate on a Night Stalker that has 1800 vision. I'm not really understanding what are the reasons behind the decisions they're making. I think they're just... They were in a really good spot in the game, and every decision they take doesn't benefit them. So I do hope that they chill for a bit, wait the nighttime, get close to the Void Spirit eggs. It feels like this is another game where Analog's dying a little bit too much again. We saw that in game 2. So he needs to chill.
He needs to chill, especially because he's gone for Witchblade directly into Ag. So very offensive build. He'll lack any defensive measures. So if he gets caught, he guaranteed dies every time. King RD links forward a little bit too late. Will end up getting brought down here. Okay, this helps. Analog is like, thank you very much, good sir, for the gold. Get me closer towards the Aghanim Scepter. This is not just that, but this gives them time to now de-ward their own jungle, regain control of this side of the map. Dota 2, one of the reasons I love this game, man. Just a game of margins. One small decision can cascade down the line, changing the overall game state. Now Hokori, off of this one pick, or feeling a lot more comfortable. They have control of their jungle. Yuma's farming the triangle again, and he can actually get towards the BKB. So it's not all doom and gloom, Bowie. It's still possible. Still within the realm of winning. Even though Elmisha might die here, salvation will be offered yet again by the Shadow Demon. And he stays alive. He's actually going to be okay. Tavo also popped the early BKB, and there's the first black hole of the game. Winter's Curse immediately cancels it out, though. Tavo allowed to escape this fight. But they're not going to get the Enigma kill, I don't think. Oh, they actually do manage to bring him down, but it costs 40 yards life. King RD also going forward to kill Elmisha. Yuma doesn't have Wukongs anymore, doesn't have access to BKB, so he needs to worry about his position in this fight. As HFN comes in with the Eclipse, gets stalled out though by Goddick. Tavo just going to fly over Goddick. Lucent Beam cancels out the attempted TP. So that Shadow Demon will die as well. 3-for-1 fight around this Roshan pitch here, Bowie. What do you make of it, of the first Black Hole usage of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was not ideal. The big problem here is that it's really hard for Vitali to assess whether it's a good black hole or not, because in these night vision fights, they're just severely outclassed in terms of vision, which is why I'm still baffled that they keep on forcing them. But one thing that will, once you get more levels on the Shadow Demon, is that he can get vision, the same vision as Luna and Night Stalker once he creates some illusions. Those the disruption is really key in this game, not only because you get to benefit from HFN's farm, but because you also get that nighttime vision. The problem is that Gardic is really under farm right now. He's not nearly close in Netherlands, but he dreams of a Netherlands. Of a Glimmer Cape or a Blink Dagger.
If he can get to Glimmer Blink, and then maybe like a Psychic Headband down the line, it's not just great for him to be able to get those illusions, but he can make HFN's life very difficult with that ultimate as well. So definitely want to maybe see Hokori putting some priority onto the Shadow Demon. For now, Wolf Team, not only are they doing very well on their cores, look at this Winter Wyvern. Also just picked up a Blink Dagger for Duster. How on earth are you ever supposed to get off a Black Hole? I do not know, but that's why Vitali is playing the Enigma and not me. Good luck, friend. Just get harder from here.
Yeah, at least the Enigma got lucky with that Feely Stone, so he will be farming towards something, whether it's a Linken's, a BKB. He'll get there faster. But you're right, Duster just had a really good recovery with some of those curses. Has 8 assists and only 1 death. which is also why King Gardiz that farmed. He both supports on the side of both team doing really well, and that allows everyone every one of the cores on the side of both teams to flourish. But the BKB is going to be up for Yuma, and that's when I hope they'll take a fight during this daytime. Ideally, not forcing Roche, because every single time in this series that they ever try to force it, maybe that's why they got like a pretty shitty Roche draft, so that they don't get tempted at trying to do it.
Like, we can't lose a Roche fight if we're never in the Roshan pit, boys.
Exactly.
They might actually wait just before that BKB, because it is about to arrive now for Yuma. But we're not that far away from the Axe, from Analog either. So it would be a very nice 1-2 punch from them if they get there in a decent spread. Unfortunately, though, that timing might be slowed down a little bit because Wolf Team on the prowl yet again. Dark Ascension is at the ready for Tavo. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger just yet, but does have BKB. Very good game read, though, from Hokori. They've seen how many times they've died in this triangle, how many fights have been forced here. Mid lane, though, Analog. Woof! Very, very well played by him to immediately dissimulate after the jump forward. And that 100% saves his life. He gets caught there, he was gonna die, but he doesn't. And now Hokori can still hold this map. They're feeling a bit too skittish on the side of Wolf Team to force the tier 2 tower. They have to go back top because they can see the lane being pushed in by Vitali. So it almost feels like game 1 here, Bowie. The fact that Hokori is behind but spreading the map just to try and get to a later portion of the game when they get stronger.
Oh, Marcy survives the coil from 4DR. Really nicely done by Omisho there.
Mid
Oh,
lane.
he gets
Oh, dude, they don't have allies. HFN might be alone here. They want to jump. Analog has the Ags. They really want to go for this. Elmisha will die, but now they know that there's no Tiny for this fight. Oh, HFN is actually so good at Dota. He starts running away into the
I
triangle.
think he's dead though. Oh, he
Let's
pops
see.
mask.
Dude, he's so good at Dota. He's so good at Dota. He's fine.
He is a good player indeed. Good move by Hokori, but does get read very fast by Wolf Team. They force some TPs, so we're probably going to see some farm fast moving on, because a lot of these possible moves on both sides are now not possible because of the TPs. But look at Enigma. He's slowly but surely crawling towards that BKB and eventually Lincoln's. I think that's really the problem for Hokori's draft. Like, they need 5 different items on all cores for them to play the game. Like, this Monkey King needs a lot of items, which is why he went Battle Fury. This Enigma needs, like, lots of items as well. So they have to drag this out. There's not as much push in this game than there was in game 2 with the Visage, but I still feel like Wolf Team is starting to get away with too much. So they'll go for another smoke on Hokori.
See what they can accomplish from this one. Vitali, of course, not involved in that smoke as he's in the top lane. They will not have access to the black hole for this one. But Analog still wants to reveal this Aghanim Scepter. I'm not sure if he actually showed on the map, so they might not know it's available just yet.
Oh, the ward.
Yuma will show thanks to that Observer ward, and Duster goes in to tank the gank. Happily will die to allow both the Luna as well as the Tiny to live. It might not be done just yet though, because HFN showing top. But they have to know that he's got some backup on this. But they're still going to try. Misho coming forward has Blink Dagger. So can Blink get forward with the dispos? But HFN yet again reads the move at the very last second. This is so frustrating to play into, Bowie. When the opponent knows you're coming, and then they still force you to get close to them anyway, then they just back off. He's wasted your time, he's cleared out the wave, he's getting net worth, and you're just wasting time.
Yeah, HFN has been playing really well the whole series. I mean, even in game 1, right, we saw the score where he was had 0 deaths, but Analog doesn't have 0 deaths. He has exactly 3 deaths.
He doesn't have any way to keep himself alive here. Yuma does have BKB, so they're going to be reticent to jump onto him with the Wukongs, but they just go around him. This is not how you want to be as Monkey King, where they just leave you alone. Tavo jumping on top of this Shadow Demon right now. They will have the damage with the Crippling Fear Silence to prevent any saves from the disruption. That will buy the Blink Dagger for Tavo. That will open up the path to Roshan. And Wolf Team now will take their date with the big man to try and get the first ages of this game.
Oh yeah, do they have any smokes on the side of Hokori? They do have one. But with 2 heroes being dead, can they really go for this?
Whether or not it's a good idea, they're doing it anyway. They're coming now.
South American Roche time!
Okay, they find Duster first. They will be able to kill the Winter Wyvern. Tavo gets off the crippling fear though, so Misho has to run away. Black Hole coming in directly onto the puck, but the cancellation from King RD because he didn't get off the BKB first. Oh no. Got a bit cocky thinking he didn't have to worry about Winter's Curse. Forgot about the Tiny. And now the fight's not over just yet. Tavo jumping onto the Shadow Demon. They did get off some illusions of HFN, but it might cost the life of Gardic. And indeed, Tavo will finish him off with that BKB active. King RD tossing back Yuma. Yuma does have BKB, but doesn't have the right clicks to survive against this Luna. And she's going to be able to bring him down. Analog in danger. Get silenced up. The coil will be there as well. With a crippling fear on top of it, there's absolutely no way to escape. And that is another hero down. That was them going for that Roshan fight. Trying to force an Aegis contest. But just like what we've been seeing this entire series, Bowie, Roshan is that area of the map belongs to Wolf Team. It's suicide to fight them there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know, because Hokori, if they actually kill that puck, this could have been a good fight. The fact that he didn't press BKB there, very costly. It will definitely bite Hokori in the behind moving forward. But they still might have like one fight. It's just hard because this is another game where Hokori needs to play 5 times better than Wolf Team to do well. I think this is a severe outdrift by Wolf Team. And like they even did well in lanes, which was surprising. But they're getting outmaneuvered hard by Wolf Team.
This maneuvering is just seeming way too good right now. Wolf Team have their pick of the litter, pretty much doing whatever they want on the map. Talk to me about what can we be having built up from Hokori. Of course, Vitaly's going to be going for this Lincoln Sphere afterwards. But what does Yuma do? It really felt like this Monkey King has been quite underwhelming. And we were worried about this the entire game. Hell, even on panel, as Dini was mentioning how difficult the game can be to play for MK. Vitaly, it does have BKB. Oh my god, they actually have enough damage to kill him anyway. Wow. Well, that's not great. That's no Lincoln Sphere coming anytime soon because of that. But what can Yuma do to actually represent a viable threat in this game?
He needs to farm 4 items. Like his timings are gonna come later. The Scotty, really good versus Luna. The overall damage, like once you get enough items, your Wukong's command becomes like more of a threat. Right now, though, he just needs. Okay, speaking of a threat, really good TPs.
This is not going to help him if he dies here because he's been caught out by the Stream Coil after the Winter's Curse. They actually don't commit the Coil because he does BKB TP out. And this puck is not level 25 just yet, so we cannot prevent that from happening. Alright. Still, though, that is a wasted BKB charge from him, and now that is going to enable Wolf Team just run down this tier 2 tower in this bottom lane. This Luna is so strong. Hurricane Pike, BKB, Scotty, Paladin Sword. Whew! Definitely do not want to find her late at night.
Yeah, for sure. It has been a pretty easy ride for HFN. He got handled in lane, which was expected, but recovered really well. It's obviously not only like him farming well, but the enabling from Wolf Team that allows him to do that. This Night Stalker pick is looking really good. That's definitely one of the heroes Tavo is great at. You know, we talk a lot about the Timber, but that is another one of his specialties. And even though he also got crushing lane, somehow Hokori's like small mistakes just started adding up. It's really rough to say anything besides that. I think they just need to make this game last for 45 minutes. That's when they might start to peak again.
Late game Dota, here we come. Let's see if Hokori can yet again, like in game 1, continually split out this map and prevent Wolf Team being able to claim the jugular. Analog in this top lane is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Will find himself getting caught out with the Dream Coil. Here's Tavo with the crippling fear. Absolutely no way to get out of this here. And Analog will die. His allies are streaming in to try and save him, but they're not going to get here in time. They've brought him down. There's no way they take it. Don't do it, Yuma. Don't do it.
Maybe the puck. Maybe the puck.
Oh no, Wukong is out. They're going in for the puck here. El Misho disposes him back, and they will have the damage to kill him. Well done so far. It's a 1-1 trade. Both mid laners have died. Gardic will find himself getting taken out for this one as well. almost Duster was able to find the Winter's Curse to hold El Misho in position, but not going to be able to get to him in time. Okay, I mean, it's not great that it costs 2 heroes to kill the puck. However, at this stage of the game, you'll do anything it takes to extend it, right?
Oh, for sure. It's pretty similar to what we saw in game 1, where you just want to delay the game. And the crazy part is Vitaly didn't even join that smoke because he realizes how useless he is, how many items he needs to actually become a hero again. And so it's actually Yuma that smokes with the team to kind of enable Vitaly. I love this concept. I think, this is something we usually wouldn't see Wolf Team do. And if they do win this game, it's definitely out of plays like that, where the roles kind of reverse a bit, and you just have to adapt at each portion of the game who actually needs the farm, who is the position 1 at that particular time frame. Right now, it's definitely this Enigma. He has a lot of catch-up to do.
We were mentioning it earlier in game number 2 that this can be or game 1, actually, this can be a very nerdy team. Hokori certainly showing that off, understanding what to do and when. Lincoln Sphere not that far off for the Enigma. Afterwards is, of course, going for this refresher orb. Let's just hope the game is still going for his squad by the time that phase of the game rolls around. To make his life more difficult, though, and Wolf Team is starting to itemize into anti-Enigma territory. 40R already picking up this Aeon Disc, make it much more difficult to die within the black hole. Between that and the Sanj and Kaya, the lockdown on 40R is certainly lacking at this point. It will help though that Yuma did pick up the Scotty, so there is more damage still. But the next fight, it feels like, will have a very big influence on how this game ends. If Wolf Team win one more fight, I really don't see Hokori being able to come back into this one.
It's really about the black hole. Like, if they use black hole and they don't get a lot of out of it, Wolf Team will just force everything, even without Aegis. So, once again, Hokori, they force fights just like this one, where they don't really have the advantage in any way, shape, or form.
Analog will get himself Dream Coiled here. There will be a save coming in from the Shadow Demon. This is a very dangerous place to be. HFN gets off the BKB with the Eclipse, but there's the Black Hole. They haven't cancelled it out just yet. It does eventually get cancelled, but he's taking so much damage from the Wukongs. It's finally worked out for them. They've taken the good fight. They baked Wolf Team too deep into it, and Wolf Team get punished heavily. 40R, can he get out? He can. Nobody else, though, in the squad going to be able to do so. But though Tavo does manage to run down Analog on the backside of the fight, will he be able to escape? I'm not sure. 40R might want to look for a turnaround as well.
Oh.
Yuma stuck around, a big boundless strike, saving the life of El Misho, making sure that Tavo has to escape if he wants to keep his life. 40R does get the kill on El Misho, though, and also should be able to get out of here. Boundless strike is going to be available, but I'm not sure if it's going to provide enough damage. Worse than that, doesn't have enough reach to claim the spell. So 40R escapes. But that fight, though, ends up going very interestingly. It's a 3-for-3 exchange at the end of the day, but they get the HFN Luna, the big prize on the map right now.
Yeah, you could see how selfless Analog is playing this game. Like, he first of all was the bait, because right now he has the least farm. He doesn't really contribute whatsoever. Then they needed like this very specific scenario to play out for them to win that fight. They need the Monkey King to have BKB so that he doesn't stop attacking the Luna once Winter's Curse gets used on Vitaly. And Vitaly knew that it's not about his Black Hole really doing the finishing blow. It's about just making sure Curse gets used, and they force a fight inside the Wukongs. So, really nicely done by Hokori. Considering how far behind they are, it's commendable that they were able to fight as well as they did.
I mean, it's not that often nowadays in Dota that you actually get a full duration Wukongs with enemies inside it, and you're just hitting the opposing core at that. So, one of those 1 in a million shots. Hokori, take it. Man, honestly, I love watching Hokori play, because these outside situations that shouldn't make sense, and it's like, this only works in this one context. They always manage to find that one context. They won game 1 off of it. And here in game number 3, despite being massively behind in both gold, experience, and map advantage, they're somehow finding these opportunities to extend this game further and further. They also now finished the BKB for Analog. You were mentioning he doesn't have any farm practically. Now he's much more capable of doing those bait kind of plays and potentially even surviving the fight while dishing out some additional damage throughout it.
Sure. Also, big double damage bottom. Gets pinged out. Oh, this is huge for Wolf Team. Oh, nom for HFN. Wait, what? What?
Okay.
What? Why?
Not what I expected.
Okay.
All right.
Huh.
Cool.
I mean, I'm not sure they know about these Lincolns on the Enigma. So this could be game losing. There's no BKB piercing spell besides the Winter's Curse. So as long as we see Vitaly pressing that BKB, it should be a good black hole.
Oh, as long as that happens, they smoke up. They actually might smoke up into him. King RD goes to check with his face. Will break, have smoke broken upon him. They're jumping forward.
Oh, no.
They want Vitaly. Vitaly didn't get off the BKB. He's in so much danger. BKB comes out now, but the double damage of Tavo turns out to actually come in clutch as they use it to bring down the Enigma with no buyback. Yuma gets off the BKB Wukongs, but Yuma's all alone. They're bringing down his teammates. Analog gonna be trying to reach onto King RD himself, as well as Almisho do manage to do it, but they've had to leave all alone Yuma inside of his own Wukongs. As soon as it ends, they just jump back on top of him. Triple kill for Tavo. Turns out he was the right carrier of the rune. They wipe the fight, and now with no black hole available, it doesn't matter if it's a good or bad black hole here, Bowie, if every single hero is dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's gonna be a black hole, just a black void inside the base of Hokori. This is at least 2 wrecks. They do have a tier 2 tower top, so that is the saving grace for Hokori. They also didn't go for Roche inside the Wolf team, so maybe that's one thing they can try and force. But it's really unfortunate. The smoke broke, and Night Stalker, it's so easy for this guy to just pop ulti, dive in, and even though he got the BKB off onto Vitaly, the Lincolns was already broken because Night Stalker jumped with the Void, so he couldn't really go for the black hole. Kind of commendable that he didn't use it, but they lost so much out of that.
Also, yet again, shout out to King RD for checking the distance, being able to force a fight in very unfavorable terms for Hokori. Now, here's Wolf Team. Inside the Roshan pit we go. Aegis and the Aghanim Shard in play once more. Analog very far away, so not going to be able to go for any steal plays here. It's already proving to be so difficult to bring HFN down once. How on earth do they do it twice? As he picks up this Aegis, they give the Aghanims as well, or the shard to this puck, so you now have this better phase shift. Alright, cool. I mean, Night Stalker already has access to shard, so does the Luna. So I suppose it does make sense to give it to this puck. Cold Embrace is not really a upgrade on the shard, and King RD is playing support, not core, so he doesn't need the shard. 23k gold lead here, Bowie. What are the routes back into this game for Hokori at this stage?
5-man black hole.
Alright,
That's,
easy.
Maybe if they can summon a Darkseer with some dark rituals, and they'll get a vacuum into a black hole. So that could be very valuable for them. But another thing that they can do is split up Wolf Team, just like they did right now. Luna is, that's the way they won game 1, but it really feels like Wolf Team stepped up the way they're playing the map. They're being way smarter with the way they do the moves. And, once again, it feels like Hokori, as nerdy as they are, as interested in the game as they are, sometimes, ease of execution just better than testing, the new thing all the time. I'm not saying that Enigma is a new thing, but it's definitely not like very meta. And they did force this Enigma very early into, obviously the Winter Wyvern being open for Wolf Team. There's still a way out of this, but they need like an amazing black hole, which they really struggle to get this whole game.
Honestly, the way that the patch has changed right now just feels increasingly more difficult to justify these early Enigma picks. The game is so hard for him. Every time I see this hero that needs 3 items before he can do anything, I just feel like he would have been better off picking something else. I mean, we can compare and contrast the impact that Tavo has had this game without necessarily needing not only massive itemization, but also perfect spell usage every single fight. We'll see now what the spell usage will be like. The fight's probably going to come soon here. They've just finished a new Dagon 3 on this puck. I think they want to end the game soon here on the side of Wolf Team.
Yeah, I think it's getting pretty close to dinner time here in Brazil. As dinner time, I mean 1:30 a.m. But Yeah, that's why, like, usually these early Enigma picks, they become supports, you know? You just want to force a couple of counter picks, and then you place it in a position where it's alright if you don't get any black holes, because you're using a Wraith Pact, and, like, you did your job in the lane. There's a lot of pressure here on Vitali, and we'll see if they can deliver. They're kind of postured to defend the tier 2 tower.
Defending
kind of an
tier 2
unusual.
Radiant top. Okay. Not something you see every day, but okay. I think somebody on the team made the call. Somebody was like, guys, realize where we are. What are we doing? We're like, okay. Let's not be
Maybe
here.
if they just go for the high ground, they might forget to the war. Okay, yeah, there's no way you're going to that puck.
I don't think I've ever actually seen a team win that defense, like in a behind game. So yeah, I'm glad that they back off on the side of Hokori. Vitali, fam, game's all on you. You need that big black hole, not just this game, but potentially Hokori's lives in Division 1 rely purely on the play of this Enigma. Both teams 1-3 right now. A loss brings you down to 1-4. Might not be guaranteed relegation, but you're certainly going to be in that scrap. Let's see what they can do here. This Wolf team confident enough, having the Aegis with the Dark Ascension as well. They're just going to go for this here. They're looking for these Megas. King RD, get the toss back. No, they found Juma. There's going to be a BKB coming out. There's a Winter's Curse though, wasting his time within the Wukongs. This Wukongs is doing a decent amount of work though, forcing back the side of Wolf team so they can't keep this chase going. King RD finds himself caught out just outside the Wukongs and inside Midnight Pulse. Will end up dying here. That's a pretty big kill. King RD's been instrumental to Wolf team's pushes, and they will respect the fact that they are now playing 4v5, and they'll back away here, Bowie. The game continues. No Megas. Game's not over just yet. Hokori still have a chance.
I mean, this is pretty big, actually. They, once again, you know, I think we saw the same mistake in game 2, where you have King RD, he has Tiny, he just unnecessarily, like, they are so big on Wolf team that he can just group up, put the Luna hitting the Rex, the Wyvern behind. There's really no play that Hokori can do. But they try to be the one initiating, expecting poor positioning from Hokori, but they were actually very nicely positioned. And this is gonna buy time. This actually denies the Aegis, because it is not going to be up for a while. Always carry against Enigma, an Enigma on the enemy side, dude. Eventually he'll get a refresher. He already has the Lincolns. The game just gets harder from here for Wolf team.
Yep. I mean, Yuma as well. We saw in that fight just how much work the Wukongs was doing. Even though he wasn't actively hitting anybody, just having the ultimate out forces away Wolf team because of how hard he hits. Now he's going to finish this dateless. Then at some point, you do get Blink. At some point, you get the Ags as well. Then it starts to look very, very threatening. So you're definitely right that it only gets harder and harder from here for the side of Wolf team. It does become a little bit easier for them, given that they've already claimed 2 lanes of racks. So the progression of this Monkey King is going to be a lot slower than it would have been otherwise. But they have to start thinking about how to close out this game, especially with the case that, like you mentioned, no Aegis available for quite some time. Although this Luna, every time I see these Lunas go for this kind of build, it does indicate to me they want to win on the next push. Going for the Aeon Disc. So that's going to be 3 defensive items on the Luna. Aeon Disc, Lincoln Sphere, and the BKB. That's quite a lot. It's quite a lot here for HFN.
What I'll say is, old HFN would never touch a peasant item like Aeon Disc. This guy, he's reformed, alright? There is no freaking way 2 years ago HFN would even dare to look at this cursed, peasant, filthy item as the Aeon Disc. But, you know, in a game like this, against the Voids, the Enigmas, it is definitely going to be good for him. It's kind of like a second Aegis, in a way. So I like it. No dispels, right? No aggressive I guess there is Shadow Demon, but how many deaths do we have on Gardic here? He died 11 times. Oftentimes, I don't think he's going to be in position to, you know, just as the Aeon Disc gets procced, cast the OT on HFN.
If he does that, though, oh my god, Godixon is just going to be an absolute hero.
I'm so tired, I might not even notice. But if you do actually witness that happening, please inform us. You know, I'm starting to get in. This is my second series, and it's been 2 pretty long ones. But my brain is starting to fade away, melt into nothingness.
Don't worry, it's 6:30 a.m. for me here. I've got lots of coffee I'm hopped up on, so I will be paying close attention to our boy Gardic. For these
I actually
massive
was so
plays.
sad. In between game 2 and 3, I went to my local 24-hour store nearby, just craving for another energy drink, and it was closed. They are under maintenance.
What?
So
Oh no!
yeah, like I'm working overtime here, dude. No caffeine on my blood, just out of sheer love for Dota 2 and South America. South American boats.
That's that dedication. That's how he brings out here. Love to see it. Who needs caffeine when you've got love for the game?
That's true. Who
That's
needs
actually a bad-
food? Yeah, I mean, this game, I know that Dota Plus says it's a 100% chance for Wolf Team, but very often I think Dota Plus has those heroes that he loves and the heroes that he hates, like Spectre. I do feel like there is a lot of bias here over this Enigma versus Wyvern matchup being really good for Wolf Team. We'll see. Oh,
Mid. Oh no! Yuma did the Bounder Strike a little bit too short on the range. Had he connected onto it, Elnisha would have been there with the Blink Dispose. Actually, didn't have Rebound at the time, so he might not have gotten the full range. But either way, that smoke does not get themselves the kill they wanted. However, it does help them reclaim this outpost. They'll be able to cut this wave before it gets close to the base. So things are not looking all doom and gloom, although, that was very, very close. Puck was seeping in onto that creep wave. Would have been presenting some kind of threat with the rest of the team filtering in. But it's time that they bought, because now they are forcing Wolf Team to play around the bottom side of the map instead of on top. So they are not going to get megaed just yet. Second by second is still being bought here, Bowie.
The dream scenario here is Roche. The Roche spawn is 3 minutes away, and that Philly Stone keeps ticking and ticking and ticking till refresher is up. That is like the way I see Hokori winning this game. Like, you need this refresher, and you need Vitaly to go like sicko mode here. He needs to incarnate some higher form of being.
You know it's deep when we're this late into the game. 45 minutes. He's got a quickening charm in his backpack, but it's the Philly Stone that he's just chilling with. He's like, nah, this is the item. This is actually the plug to win the game. And okay, let's see. Big Man supposedly comes up in 5 seconds. Let's see what kind of timing we're going to get here. We have had an instant spore in this game. Are we going to get that again? It's 40 seconds.
No.
Oof, that's still really, really fast. That's terrible news for Hokori.
Yeah, Dota Plus, I mean, probably thinks this is a 200% win probability here for both team after this respawn timer. But yeah, I mean, the Aegis, like, if he sells boots, you know, just sell your boots. I wouldn't mind that.
How much gold is he shy right now? It's,
Is
about-
500-ish gold away.
So if he sells boots, he's still not enough. If only you could sell your shard right now. Just to get the
You
refresher.
know, maybe if you could get a loan in Dota 2, right? You promise Gabe and he'll pay on time, and you have to pay it on your next match. So, like, you get MMR for this match, but you're probably going to lose it for the next one. Doesn't really work that well in pro games, though.
Started
That'd
out
be pretty
the big
OP.
man. Oh, I think he has to sell boots. He's seeing this. He sees how close he is on the gold. But it's only 40 away. He can wait.
Yeah, okay. Career mission. He got lucky.
Oh.
They're inside the pit, so they were not there to hunt that poor little courier. That's it, dude. If that black hole whiffs, and it's despair mode. What dropped here? Okay, Ags for Luna. Oh, another.
Well, HFN might not have bought the Aghanim Scepter to go for the same build we saw Yuma do, but he gets it for free anyway. The Aghanim Scepter and the Shard, and he picks up Refresher now.
Daedalus.
All right, it is go time. Daedalus backpack.
Daedalus. Yeah, but Monkey King also has his, so he needs 10 gold for his buyback. He will be the guy just showing up, and he just needs to tank enough spells until there's an opening for Vitaly here, the Genki Dama carrier, to land some bizarre, amazing black holes.
Everybody but Vitaly has buyback in this game. Wolf team smoked up. They're trying to find a way into the base right now. They come across the Void Spirit. Oh no, tossing it back into the rest of the squad. Immediate bash from Tavo. He's still alive though. Oh my god, Analog. Gets out of the BKBs on the high ground. He TP's back. Shadow Demon will die inside the base, dropping the gem next to this Ancient. But it doesn't matter. You force them to use several of their spells. You force them to use some BKBs. Now you've just caught both Puck and the Night Stalker inside the first black hole. Will they be able to get two? Yes, they do. And the second one's even better. Tavo's gone. Winter Wyvern is dead as well. HFN does get forced off outside the pit with the Hurricane Pike. But that is several heroes dead inside the base. 3 of them buy back. Oh my god, there is 2 black holes down now. So King RD feeling comfortable and confident of tossing back Yuma. Yuma though, with the BKB active, gonna actually stand here and challenge the rest of Wolf Team. HFN realizes it doesn't have enough damage. Winter's Curse will come, but it connects onto Yuma. This is not the hero that has the right click damage. King RD gonna be there, avalanche toss onto him. Yuma trying to fight back. There's not gonna be a lifesteal though. So force a buyback instead. 4DR right inside of the tier 4 towers, almost dies. Just barely gets away to safety, but no! Not gonna be allowed to do so. Cold Embrace keeping him alive, however, though. Oh my gosh, Wolf Team outplaying Hokori inside their own base. Requires several buybacks, but they've now killed El Misho permanently. There is no access to the Shadow Demon as well for at least another 60 seconds. Can they get the Megas off of this is the question.
I think they can. Oh my lord, this is a tough one.
Looking for the game though. DKB is being popped. Analog wants to go in after King RD. King RD does not have access to buyback, so would have been a good kill. With this Wukong's command, Yuma was trying to reach for it, but they don't have a way to keep these heroes inside it. HFN happy to just commit away the Sages. Doesn't really care for it because he utilizes that life to take down the range racks. Now looking for the melee. Getting pulled back though by the Ether Remnants. Enigma unfortunately getting muscled down by the rest of Wolf Team. Won't be able to do anything. Analog dies again. 2 minutes in the grave, no buyback. Dream Coil out onto Yuma. We'll throw in the final Boundless Strike of the game. It might be the last Boundless Strike he gets to enjoy in this division. Because as he dies, the Ancient's about to fall. GG's been called. Hokori go down 2-1 against Wolf Team. Bowie, the black hole was there. The black hole was perfect. But ultimately, it's not enough. Wolf Team still take the victory.
Yeah, the victory, and they end up with some feisty messages here. You know, as per usual with South American Dota, you just gotta speak your mind after you win. Which is, you know, good, because I think there are a couple of players that used to, you know, kind of talk smack before they ended and won the series, and sometimes that doesn't really end up well. Yeah, I mean, kudos to Wolf Team. I think they showed why, like, they're the more experienced team. A lot of weird mistakes from Hokori in game 2 and 3 that didn't really kind of pop up in game 1. So I just feel like Wolf Team, they were more resilient. They kind of played what worked for them, which is this super ricey sort of carry on HFN. It doesn't matter if he loses the lane. And everyone was stable. You know, I feel like with Hokori, a lot of times they were not. Yuma, very stable throughout the whole series, but I really felt like Analog's performance in game 3 was lacking a bit. You know, I'm not gonna blame the Enigma too much. Like, the pick itself was not great. The fact, not the pick, but the fact that they played it off lane. But it was a really hard game. Like, it was impressive that it lasted as much as it did.
I mean, even under those conditions of it being a very hard game, he very nearly managed to bring it back there at the end. If their execution was maybe 10% better in that last fight, I think we might still be in this game. But Dota is already difficult enough when it's not under these conditions. And unfortunately for the Enigma, too much to do, too much for Yuma to do as well. And Analog, like you mentioned, not had the best performance in this third game, so wasn't able to contribute his portion of the control and damage in these fights. For Wolf Team though, game number 3, pretty much perfect, crisp execution of those drops, crisp strategy. And like you mentioned, Bowie, they just understood the map and played a lot better around Hokori than what we've seen from them throughout the entire series. It's not just a victory here for them, it also means that they are quite happy to stay in the division. They are pretty much avoiding the relegation scrap. Hokori, of course, need to now prepare themselves for that gauntlet of games. Well, we have already talked about this game a lot. We're now hyping up Wolf Team quite a bit. Let us see what the panel thinks about this game and thinks about this series overall. So, Big Jams, gang, what do y'all think?
Let's take it away with Wolf Team taking this 2-1. As Astani said, they were going to, if Duster was drafting, and he got that Winter Wyvern as well. Talk me through the game.
Yeah, I felt like they had all the advantage during the game because of this vision initiation thing. They were always able to get the head start into the team fight. Enigma had a very rough game because there was some BKB piercing control, so he needed the Lincolns to pop up ultimates. But when he got it, was already too late for his team. His team was way too behind. He also did fail in some black holes that he could have gotten before by not pressing BKB. So yeah, overall, I just think like Wolf's draft was way superior, way easier to execute. Considering the Hokori's draft, they actually did a good game, but yeah, Wolf they didn't make that much mistakes to give the space of Hokori to come back with a worse draft.
Another question
Yeah,
for you, Astani. Do you think that across this series, Wolf team have shown what they the metal to stay in this division? Do you think they'll go on to, if you were to predict, stay up, or are you less confident?
I would predict them to stay because finally they're picking Winter Wyvern. I've been saying this from the first match. They had to be almost relegated to learn, but I'm pretty sure that now if they just keep on the same wave, they draft as game 3, they should win the next matches.
Richie, how about you? Were you impressed in this series? Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I thought it was a really excellent draft overall. I think the thing I was impressed with the most was how difficult it plainly became, not only for this Enigma and Void Spirit to draft around, but especially for Yuma, who was trying to fight early, and he would set up... He's a good monkey player, this Yuma. So he sets up the Wukong's command in a choke point, and then, to his dismay, Puck would just go around it, and Night Stalker would literally fly around it and still reach the backlines. Like, if they could properly set up that Wukong's command and then counter-initiate with Black Hole and Void Spirit doing AoE damage, this draft looks really good. But a Puck and a Night Stalker are just never going to let that happen. Like, it was not going to work.
It felt like their positioning was really strong there as well, and they really played around those heroes. Because obviously you can say they have a Night Stalker, they have a Puck, that it's easy for them to position, but it's not that easy, and they managed to do it really effectively. Any final thoughts on the series we've seen today, Astini?
Hopefully Wolf they keep going that way, and Hokori they have some lessons to be learned from today. It's a team that I always like. I also do like a lot. I hope to still see them in Division 1, but now it's really tough. But yeah, they still have the chance. They're a great team. Hopefully both teams stay in Division 1, but it's super hard that this happens.
Richie, do you want to close us off with some final analysis?
Yeah, I think like even though Hokori are going to end up losing the series and slightly outdrafted, it felt like in games 2 and 3, I did really kind of like the ideas and the strategies they brought out of the gate with the Luna BKB Ag Scepter build in game 1, and especially the way that they ended that game. Certainly kind of, you know, finding a way to win that game, right? Because it was certainly looking very difficult in that against the Dusa. A couple little cheeky kills, a couple diebacks, a buyback on the clockwork to end the game. Like that kind of stuff is, I think, what separates them from the rest of the Division 2 teams. I think they just kind of are lacking that consistency and sometimes the drafts to really make it against a lot of the Div 1 teams. But they certainly are really entertaining to watch and are not out yet, but are going to be looking probably at some tiebreakers, best case scenario for them.
Well, there we go. And it was a great series overall, very exciting one to watch. Run very late. We had 2 almost hour-long games and one almost a 40-minute one, so the players are a little tired. So we're not getting an interview today, unfortunately. I think they're getting a well-deserved rest after such a great and probably mentally exhausting series. So why don't you do your analysis yourself with our sponsor, Cyberscore, which you can use to keep track of ongoing and upgoing Dota 2 matches, and typing !Cyberscore will bring them to that site in chat. So why don't you do that? That's all from us, I think. Thanks so much for joining me, Richie and Astani. You have been a delight all evening. Thanks, guys. And we'll leave it there. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time for some amazing South American Dota action.